Hey, everybody, it's Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Mask. Before we get started, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. A click is only going to take you a millisecond. Actually, it took you longer to listen to me say that than it would for you to do it. So, what are you waiting for? Everybody that has subscribed, I appreciate it. You're helping keep m.a.s.k alive by keeping me motivated. And if you like this video, give it a like. We're going to talk about Bruno Sheppard today and an agent profile. If you have one that you want to see, put the suggestion down in the comments. I will take a look at it and see what I can do. But also remember, there's a playlist. I've already done one, so make sure you check those out as well. And remember that I'm covering the cartoon and toys. We're not talking about the comics. It's just there's too much going on there. Bruno Sheppard, with the nickname Mad Dog, voiced by Doug Stone, who voiced Matt-Trakker, among many others, would appear in 14 episodes, with his first being in season 1, episode 43, The Chinese Scorpion, and his last in season 2, episode 10, Cliffhanger. He has a reputation for being one of the most dangerous agents of Venom, a tough guy, but think of Cliff Dagger, but smarter. In fact, in the episode for One Shining Moment, he was able to trick the master of disguise himself, Buddy Hawks, into thinking that he was Brad Turner by mimicking his voice. And a fun fact about that episode for One Shining Moment, Calhoun Burns was accidentally put in a scene. Wasn't supposed to appear at all. See if you can find it. It's actually a fun little Easter egg to check out. Bruno would wear the Magna Beam mask, which had the ability to manipulate metal through magnets, essentially. Push, pull, throw. That's kind of the gamut you're going to get with it. He would don that mask in every episode that he appeared in, which was 14. Stinger was modeled after a Pontiac GTO, and it transforms into an armored tank. Now, I haven't covered it yet because my version of Stinger is missing the coolest part of it, the claw on the back. Now, that was pretty much the one thing you probably remember the most, right? It also transforms as well. You got the shield that comes up, the armored shield. This is all straight from the cartoon. The guns will come up on the tires. Really cool transformation. Very subtle, but it turned into something that was a massive force to be reckoned with whenever you were out there against it. Along with the claw and the guns that I showed you, it had radar, it had a mortar, it had all kinds of things that you would expect a tank to be able to carry into battle. Now, according to some of the toy guides that have been out there that were distributed to Kenner as they were creating and making these toys, Stinger's original name was going to be Scorpion, which in the first episode he appeared in, the Chinese Scorpion, he had an augmentation on his Stinger car that looked like a scorpion. So nice little tie in there. A loose figure, probably run you about $15, $20. Stinger by itself, loose, I mean, with the figure, I've seen them as low as 60. I've seen them as high as maybe 85 if it's complete. And in the box is one of the weirder things is that there's not many of them out there that get sold. I don't see them that often. And it's actually one of the few that I don't have back here. Boxed, $200, and it's not, not because of rarity or anything. It's just like an anomaly, I think. Bruno would also pilot Jackal, or otherwise known as Barracuda, in the really fantastic Split Seconds line. In my opinion, this is one of the worst mask sculpts and designs of a figure that I've ever seen. I like that they tried to make it look like, like a shark. But I mean, I know barracudas are also predators, but it just looks so weird. I mean, obviously you don't get anything from the clone at all. And this actually is a replica mask done by Cliff Dagger. So seek him out if you break a mask and you're not really wanting to wait 5 years to find one come up. Check it out. Again, Jackal, I'm going to go by Jackal. That's what I always called it, is a motorcycle. And of course, with it being a Split Seconds, it has to do something, right? So then here you go. It's got that. That's not here. There you go. And then this stupid thing. Like this is the vehicle and this is the transformation. But if you're going for everything, you have to get it, right? Um, the figure's loose, 40, 40 to 60. The clone, I would say less, but the actual figure, they tend to do run a little bit higher. I've seen this boxed for 250 usually. Um, and you don't have to pay that, but I'm just letting you know that's maybe what you're going to be looking at. I don't know the difference between the Barracuda and the Jackal box pricing. I'm sorry, I don't have that. Not a lot of research can be done on it just because they don't pop up that often. So just take it for what it's worth, use it as a guide, and do your best. Now, eventually, I'll be reviewing both of these in great detail, but right now, we're just kind of going over a broad spectrum, I guess, pun intended, of everything here that's related to Bruno. Bruno would also become a part of a two-pack that was a European exclusive that was a repaint of the Stinger, costume. It's one of the harder ones to find in the line. And aside from the Ace Riker figure, that one seems to be the hardest one that really tracked down. I've seen them loose go for $100. That's with the mask. And anytime I say loose, I'm talking about with the mask. It's it's definitely something. If you come across it, try to pick it up. If you're trying to collect, make sure you make it a priority, just because how hard it is to find. Bruno would also get to be a part of the adventure packs racing arena, which is here and here. Oddly enough, Maximus Mayhem was also packaged in these two. There's a picture on the screen. I don't know why the box art is Bruno. It's just very weird. Um, it's a repaint again of Bruno, and it comes with this neat backpack here that really does not hold up well. It'd be cool if it did, um, but it's just like it just kind of falls down. So I wish it held up better. And then you got these two guns to go on his arms, and they do not go on well. They don't hold up at all. It's very difficult to position them. I wish it was a little bit better. And you have this kind of sled box thing here. I know these are very arbitrary things that I'm saying. There's no description that I found really that says like what this is. It looks like a box or a sled that turns into a gun. Sorry, I don't have a better description for it. This set is hard to come by complete. And, I would say if you found it loose of everything with it, you're probably looking at $170. Carded, I've never really come across it sold. I was lucky enough early enough in my collecting to get one, but I don't even remember what I paid for it. So I can't give you an estimate on that. I apologize. I wish I could, but it's going to be something that's going to cost you probably a little bit more. And I don't know the difference in pricing between that one and the Maximus Mayhem one either. I would imagine that the Maximus one might be seen as an error, but I honestly think they just ran out of the figure and put him in there instead. In my opinion, I think Stinger and Bruno's character from the cartoon probably has the best representation in the toy, if not one of the best. It's very accurate, right down to everything that you would see him doing in the cartoon. So it's a pretty cool thing to be able to have that, especially when you were a kid. You can help correlate it more and really feel like you're part of the action. Bruno is certainly a flawed character, and something I didn't mention earlier is that he was apparently a kidnapper, which I'm not really high up on. Maybe you maybe you are, but I'm not. Um, the funny thing is that I feel like his character if the racing season went past 10 episodes, since he was heavily involved in it, could have had a redemption arc somewhere where maybe he could have been part of M.a.s.K. Who knows? Just always felt that way. So let me know your thoughts on Bruno and everything about Bruno. You could talk about him if you want. And if you have a suggestion, like I said earlier, let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to help. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to help keep M.a.s.K. alive. And this is Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and I'll talk to you later.